Hello everyone. Before we proceed to the projections of the lower limb, let us know first the routines for different indications. When we say routine, it is consisted of combination of projections that could demonstrate a certain pathology or injury. If we are looking for a bone injury such as fractures or dislocations, we perform AP, AP oblique, and lateral projections. For bony pathology, AP and AP oblique projections are performed. And for the localization of foreign body, we use both AP and lateral projections. Now let's start with the projections of the toes. These are the phalanges of the foot. For the AP projection, the patient can be in a seated or supine position, with the knees flexed so that the plantar surface will be in contact with the image receptor. Center the toes directly over the one half of the IR. The central ray is directed perpendicularly through the third metatarsophalangeal joint. This projection will demonstrate the 14 phalanges of the toes and the distal portions of the metatarsals. If the demonstration of the interphalangeal joint space is critical, we perform the AP axial projection. With the same patient position, we place a 15-degree sponge wedge under the foot and rest the toes near its elevated base. If a foam wedge is used, we direct the central ray perpendicularly through the third metatarsophalangeal joint. If there's no foam wedge, we can direct the central ray 15 degrees posteriorly through the third metatarsophalangeal joint. An AP axial projection opens up the joint spaces and reduces the foreshortening. Next projection is PA. This projection places the patient in prone position so that the dorsal surface of the foot is in contact with the IR. Elevate the foot and IR with one or two small sandbags for an appropriate positioning. The long axis of the foot should be parallel with the IR. The central ray is directed perpendicularly through the third metatarsophalangeal joint. This projection will demonstrate the interphalangeal joint space as well because the natural divergence of the X-ray beam coincides closely with the position of the toes. Next is the AP oblique projection in medial rotation. With the same position as for the AP projection, rotate the lower leg and foot medially until the plantar surface forms 30 to 45 degrees angle with the image receptor. The central ray is directed perpendicular through the third metatarsophalangeal joint. This projection will visualize the first, second, and third toes as well as open metatarsophalangeal joint spaces of the second to fifth digits. The last projection for the toes is the lateral projection in lateromedial or mediolateral. Have the patient lie on lateral recumbent with their unaffected side and support the affected limb with sandbags and adjust it in comfortable position if the affected toe is the first and second. Place the IR under the toe and center it to the proximal phalanx. For the second toe, we can use either an 8 by 10 inch cassette if we'll be using a radiolucent stick to separate it from the others, or an occlusal film that can be placed in between the first and second toe. The position for these two toes makes a lateromedial projection. If the affected toes are the third to fifth, place the patient in lateral recumbent with affected side. This position will have a mediolateral projection of the third to fifth toes. We can also use a radiolucent stick to separate the affected from the others. We can use a sandbag and place it on the elevated heel as a support for immobilization. The central ray is directed perpendicular through the interphalangeal joint for the great toe and through the proximal interphalangeal joint for the second to fifth toes. This projection will demonstrate a true lateral view of the affected phalanx with open interphalangeal joint spaces. Now let us proceed with the projections that will demonstrate the sesamoid bones. These are two small bones beneath the head of the first metatarsal and are also commonly fractured. First, we have Lewis method tangential projection. The patient is in prone position with the great toe dorsiflexed. The ball of the foot should be perpendicular to the image receptor. As this is a tangential projection, The perpendicular central ray tangentially passes through the first metatarsal phalangeal joint, where in this position is in a curved surface because of the great toe's dorsiflexion. The Lewis method shows the metatarsal head and sesamoids in profile. Next projection for the sesamoid is also tangential, the Holy method. Here, the patient is seated on the table with the foot adjusted so that the medial border and the plantar surface is at an angle of 75 degrees with the IR plane. The patient holds the toe in a flexed position with a strip of bandage. Central ray is directed perpendicular to the head of the first metatarsal. Last for the sesamoid bone is a Coston method in tangential projection. The patient is in lateral recumbent on the unaffected side and knees flexed. Partially extend the limb being examined and put sandbags under the knees and foot to place it in lateral position, with the first metatarsal phalangeal joint perpendicular to the horizontal plane of the IR. The central ray is directed to the prominence of the first metatarsal phalangeal joint at an angle of 40 degrees towards the heel. This tangential image shows the sesamoid bones projected axial laterally with a slight overlap.